Yeah, so listen, was there just some bozo that uploaded a YouTube video that said something about what Gerald Slente always says, that current events form future trends, and that North Dakota is voting on a measure called Measure 2. It's on the ballot. They're voting on it right now as we speak. It will remove property taxes so that the government can never come take your home simply because you got down on your luck and can't pay your property taxes. So they have the right to just take your property and sell it. Did some bozo just get on here and actually think that average sheeple out there would vote for something that benefits them? That's plain as day. This is a benefit for you people. You know they're going to be voting for it. Listen, bozo, that's me. I got caught slipping. I got caught slipping. I'm sorry. I apologize. I got caught slipping. I thought the sheeple, if presented on a gold plate, easy to read amendment, or in this case, Measure 2, whatever it is, removal of your property taxes. You never have to pay property taxes ever again. They can find another way to get the money. You don't need to have the government taking your house to collect those things if you can't pay it. And right now, where our country's heading, and the other countries of the world are heading, it's a damn good law to put in place, or system to put in place. So you at least have your freaking house that you own. So about that, what's one of those favorite words that the politicians use? Oh, that's right. About my previous video about this, I misspoke. I misspoke. JSnip4 misspoke. I found a local news station online that it's just, website. The decision results, primary results right now. 5 precincts out of 426 are basically, showing their results right now. And I've been here for a little bit, and I don't see any more. It just keeps saying 5 out of 426. But if just looking at these 5 are any gauge of where Measure 2 is going, it's on the fast track to hell. 818 people said yes, people who have a brain. 3,723 said no, we don't like that. Interesting. Kind of reminds me of these people on the streets, and I'm not talking about the bums, the alcoholics. The people there's legitimate people you see on the street corners all over America that just lost their job, don't have a choice. You can tell these aren't those kind of guys or girls. And I used to see them a lot around here. I mean, it was just every corner. It was like, holy crap. And then they passed some laws in Tampa and Hillsborough County, where I live. No more peddling on the street corners. New law came out. You will be arrested if the officer decides to. You will be arrested, taken to jail, booked, probably released fairly soon, or spend at least a few days in jail, and then released. But now you have charges on you for standing on the side of the street because you are absolutely down on your luck, lower than you've ever been before in your life. No fault of your own. The economy just, it rained, and that rain cloud followed you, when in reality, the bankers caused this from day one. The Federal Reserve System, the fractional reserve banking system, is the entire reason. You can't argue with that either when you understand how it works. So what do? And I even hear people at work. One lady in particular, I'm tired of seeing them on the damn street every time I drive by. I hope you lose. I hope you're one of the people who gets let go because you can't meet your quota at my job. I hope it happens to you, and then you're on the damn street corner asking for money or asking for help or whatever it is. Because even people, I need a job. You're on you're so many feet by the street. You can go to jail. And these cops, again, I volunteer for the sheriff's office. They'll get a call, or someone will see it. Boom, such and such corner, and they'll go over there. Now, as soon as they see the cops coming, their little sign or whatever is usually hidden, or like in their little pockets. So they have to see the sign in order to stop them and actually, do something. And while it may sound okay, well, good, get these bastards off the street. For the drunks and stuff they're just the ones who've always out there. You know who they are. They've got a rap sheet. These aren't good people. Yeah, you'd want to get them off the street, but in this country, you got to treat everybody fair. So either everyone's allowed to do it or no one's allowed to do it, and they opted for no one's allowed to do it in this county, in Tampa, which is also Brandon, Florida. A few cities within Hillsborough County. And there's going to be more people doing that. More people living in their car. More people on the street corner. It's just going to keep going. So when I see these preliminary results, 5 out of 426 precincts, showing the results, 818 say yes, good idea for elimination of property tax. 3,700, basically a quarter, say yes. 3/4 say no, it's not a good idea. The thing is, the government can find another way to get the same revenue loss from property taxes. If you need to add another % to the state sales tax, or 0.5%, whatever it is. For God's sakes, it was $827 million for the whole state, is what they were collecting in property tax to begin with. They could up the sales tax probably 0.5% or something and rape and pillage money and past $800 million. And at least the people still have freaking property rights, man. It's yours. It can never, ever be taken from you. Because the government needs tax money and you didn't pay your taxes. And what if the government, like they did when prices were out of control, there were people, I remember hearing a specific guy he was in the military, pretty high-ranking guy. We were talking to our realtor at the time, and I think she had told us this. This is when prices were just going through the roof. He just bought this lot that was right on a river here. Not a huge lot at all, because, again, in the city, you get, a quarter, half of an acre or something if you're lucky. And it wasn't big. A little lot, building his dream home. It's already in the process. They're already building it. They're ready to go. They're getting ready to move into it. And then the property tax assessment comes. It's going to cost you $10,000 a year for property taxes in this particular house. Because even though you bought the land cheap, the house that you're paying to get built is way less than our assessment. Our assessment is the assessment. You owe us $10,000 a year. I'm pretty sure it was a year, not a month. Yeah, that'd be a little. Well, let's see, 2,000. No, per month. Per month. Because, oh no, hold on, I'm getting confused. No, it was a year. I got my head on straight again. Average houses and stuff, $2,000, $2,500 a year at the high. This guy, $10,000. With that included, couldn't afford the house anymore. I don't know whatever happened with him, but he couldn't afford the house anymore. Now, I will guarantee you, without knowing anything else right now than what I know, that property tax is probably down to like $3,000, $2,500, somewhere around there. Guarantee it. And if he would have argued with the state at the time or the county and said, look, there's no way these prices can continue to go this high. This is a bubble. There's no way. They would have laughed at him like everyone else did. The mainstream news is not calling it a bubble. It's just properties, the thing to be in right now. Everybody says this. And by the way, which I'm not supposed to tell you this, we are raping and pillaging in the tax money for the state of Florida. And every other state said the same thing. Guarantee it. And life was good. So they, of course, bought and spent beyond their means. And now everyone's figuring out that money went away. Our salary got cut down, a third income or whatever it ends up equaling. Massive loss. Now we've got to make do with it. But we had all these things. We bought new vehicles and new stuff. And uh-oh. Well, go after the pensioners. Police department, you guys used to have your pension paid by the taxpayers, by the state. Not anymore. Local sheriff's office, you got to pay for it yourself now. That was the rule they passed. The in Tallahassee, the government, and naturally it's expected. But I just can't sit here and believe. Oh, hold on, we've got. Oh, here we go. Just got an update. Measure 2, 17 out of 426 precincts now have put in the results. 1,500 say yes, go for it. 7,000, not a good idea. Interesting. Very, very interesting. That's even more than a quarter now of the people saying no. And I guess people just think, well, if we don't have that, what's going to pay for the police department? What's going to pay for the county trash collection? All people. All they have to do is add a 0.5% tax on everything you buy or whatever. And I'm saying 0.5%. It may be done by 1/4%. I don't know. I haven't studied it, but it's not a lot. It won't kill you. In my eyes, freedoms, property rights, etc., trump all the other crap. And there's always a way of dealing with the other stuff that they say, well, we have to do this. We got to take your rights. We got to have. No, you don't. You didn't have to do it before. All these laws changed. It was fine the way it was. We didn't have a debt back then. Now all of a sudden we've got this massive debt. And our local governments also have these debts. And I can't wait to see what like the Teachers Retirement Fund of Florida or so-and-so's retirement. I can't wait to see all these municipalities that had these bonds and stuff that JP Morgan and friends, Bank of America, sold them. Or sold for them, the bonds. So in other words, these municipalities got in trouble because of the same property problems where the values were so high and then crashed down. Now they've got these massive debts and deficits they've got to fill and fix. We don't have the money right now, but because the news is telling us things are slowly getting better, well, let's plan for a couple years then. We'll create bonds as JP Morgan and Bank of America said we should. We'll create these bonds for $1 billion. That'll get us by the next 2 years or whatever it is. And we'll be making payments back to them with the current revenue we're collecting. And then all of a sudden, something interesting happened. The current revenue they were collecting went down even more. Property prices came down even more. A lot more. Now they're in trouble. How are we going to make these payments back to the likes of JP Morgan, Bank of America, etc.? And what has happened is some of them got wise and realized we were kind of suckered into these. These interest rates weren't even favorable like they said they were. They actually lied. And then there's lawsuits filed. And the Securities and Exchange Commission gets involved because it's a bond. It's a security. JP Morgan, Bank of America, yes. You caused billions of dollars in problems here. Yes. How would you like to settle for $20 million? No charges. The fine is $20 million. You can't sell bonds for 2 years. Can't sell any bonds again. But no charges will be filed against you, and there'd be no red marks or red X's on your profile, basically. And piss off with the bond deal. Well, we don't get in trouble. It's only $20 million. We already raped and pillaged to begin with. All right, sounds good. You can go look these stories up. I'm not making this up. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Max Kaiser covered a bunch of them before. This is probably a couple years ago, as a matter of fact. I haven't heard anything recently. But anyways, I mean, this just shows you people they're not paying attention enough. Now, when this flips around, right? The yeses are nobody's even voting yes, and everybody's voting no, basically. When they start struggling in houses, hey, they took my house, and you're going to be the few, not the many. It'll be the few who had their houses taken. It'll be some of the ones who voted no when they should have voted yes, and they're going to realize, damn it, that's what this was about. This is not right. I want my house back. Sorry, Charlie. You voted no for that, as a matter of fact. And even if you voted yes, everyone else voted no anyways. So you lose. Could have been dealt with a whole nother way. So yeah, OJ Snip 4 had a little too much faith in the population. I got caught slipping. I apologize.